America's richest real estate investors became majority owner of his company when interest rates were about 14%. His name is Donald Bren. Today, we're around 6.5%. So yesterday, when somebody asked me this, would you still invest with these high interest rates and high sale prices? Before I tell you the answer, you need to know what was really happening the last time rates were really high. I was born in 1984. The average 30-year mortgage rate that year was almost 14%. And for most of the rest of the 80s, rates were around 10% or higher. Today, we're around 6.5%. So when you look at this chart, today's rates aren't actually the weird part. The 3% money we all got used to was. Here's where Donald Bren's story gets interesting. In 1977, he was part of a group of investors that bought the Irvine Company. Then in 1983, he became the majority owner. Think about that timing. The very next year, mortgage rates averaged 3.88%, not 6, almost 14. And he didn't sit on the sidelines waiting for money to get cheaper. He kept building. His company continued acquiring and developing real estate through that high interest rate environment. And today, Forbes estimates Donald Bren's fortune at around $19 billion. Now, does that mean interest rates didn't matter to him? Of course not. It means the market changed and good investors change with it. And then there's Sam Zell. Sam Zell is actually one of my personal favorite real estate investors. I read his book when I first started investing because he became one of the largest owners of manufactured housing communities and RV resorts. And that's the asset class that I started out with. But there's one thing he said that I've repeated on stage for years. I was successful because I didn't know I shouldn't have been. And I love that because that's really how I feel about becoming a real estate investor. When I started, I didn't know all the reasons I supposedly shouldn't be able to do this. I didn't know enough to know what I couldn't do. I just bet on myself. And then I figured out the next problem and the next one and the next one. And I think sometimes we know so much about what's wrong with the market that we talk ourselves out of figuring out what could actually work. Because here's the thing, high interest rates don't mean there aren't deals. They mean different deals work. Your buy box might have to change. Your asset class might have to change. Your financing might have to change. Your strategy might have to change. But that doesn't mean you stop moving. So would I still invest with high interest rates and high sale prices? Yes, you bet I would. And I am. But I wouldn't invest like it's 2021. I wouldn't buy a bad deal and hope rates come down and save me. And I definitely wouldn't sit on the sidelines waiting for the perfect market. I'd figure out what works in this one. And if you've been blaming interest rates or this market for why you haven't bought your first or your next deal, DM me the word roadmap. I get this question so often. I put together a 3-day one next move challenge where we're going to figure out what your next move actually is in the market we're in right now. Not the market 5 years ago, not the market you're waiting for, this exact one. DM me roadmap and I'll send you the details.